lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome to the fastest track on the NASCAR Tour and Talladega Super Speedway for race number 2 of the round of 12 of the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. So it's Pastor Jason Salford up in the booth with you for this one. And Jason, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. We're cutting heads tonight, brother.
Yeah, exactly. What a race to be doing it at as well. Talladega produces possibly some of the most unique racing that we can see. It's just going to be a chess match at 200 and whatever miles an hour they get up to, and it's going to be a great one for especially cutting heads.
Absolutely. As we've got the points up on the screen right now, Jalen Battle safe after a controversial win last week. He and AJ Green got into it on the final lap. They froze the field coming to the white flag because of it. AJ Green relegated to 8th in the field. Now sits 5th in points. So that's going to be a rough one to try to overcome. But Jalen Battle, the only one locked into the round of 8 at this point. He's tied with Curtis Kelly at the top of the pile, so both of those guys should be able to move themselves in, provided Curtis Kelly doesn't finish dead spanking last tonight. Taylor Butcher Benjamin needs a good finish. Brian Chu needs a good finish. AJ Green needs a good finish. James Bull, Chris Worrell, and Steven Sear on the bubble right now. Only 2 points to the good over Derek Cook, who needs a win. Colin Forrester is not here. Chris V needs a win. And surprise, surprise, look who else needs a win. The man who's needed a win to both get into the playoffs and into the round of 12. Don't bet against Skylar Carnes tonight, folks, as we've got a packed house. I'm counting 42 haulers in the infield. So this should be one for the ages.
Yeah, completely full house. That may also, as a bit of a sidetrack, mean that we may see a little bit more carnage, but hopefully it's just more action. As I mean, Dega's only a track where you're really going to crash if you get it wrong with someone else. So
right, and a couple
everyone
things.
can.
You're absolutely right, Jason, and it's so easy to get it wrong with someone else. A couple things to be mindful of, though. No fast repairs tonight, and Dairy Queen limit set to 17x, which means you hit a car 4 times, brush the wall once, and bye-bye.
Yeah, and that should make people a lot more careful out there, as the 17x is going to be really easy to hit, and the no fast repair, well, let's put it this way, if you have a crash at Dega, you have a big crash.
Yes.
I don't think it's possible to have a small crash here, so...
Well, I mean, we've seen some one-car stuff in the past, but it's rare. But a couple things to be notable of, 75% fuel fill tonight, so we're looking pit window under green flag action to be right about 25 to 30 laps, depending on how much you were able to save during the run. And they've only got 4 total sets of tires to get them through the race. So the set that they qualify on is also the set they have to start the race on, and then they're laying 3 in the pits. We're doing 100 laps for 250 miles here tonight. And there are a ton of rookies making their debut or only their first couple of starts here in the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. As the practice session comes to an end, we get ready to turn it over to qualifying. And one of the guys that is on the bubble, there he is in the Hesburg number 27. That is Chris V. And parks it. So that means Jason Middleton in the Bass Pro Shops number 3. Someone tonight for Christian Malcherek is going to be the first one to get it rolling and try to lay a time here. John Hobley out on track as well. Joey Maines, James Bowles, all out on track, as is Clarence Prince, Zach Phillips, Bruce Kelly, Jason Ricketts, and Charles Robertson. So time's coming in hot and heavy, or cars going out on the track in quick fashion right now. Let's take a quick look at the weather coming in tonight. Relatively cool conditions here in southern Alabama. 66-degree ambient air temperature, 67-degree track temperature under cloudy skies, 56% relative humidity. Means these engines are going to be making gobs of horsepower a little after 2 o'clock in the afternoon in sim time. There we go.
Should be pretty good for them. First time won't be coming in just yet. We're rolling in pretty soon. But you said there are quite a few rookies on the field. Yeah, I see a few, but also names that I recognise, which is nice.
Yep.
But on the 36, is that a rookie? I don't know. I cannot remember.
I have to find the 36. Hold on, bear with me.
I definitely know that Mike Hamlin in the 15 has skills. I've commentated over him before. He is one of those drivers that runs in the Tuesday noon Eastern series, Midday Racing League.
Correct.
So I know he has the skills, as first times are now coming in.
Middleton and Bowles laying the first 2 times, 53.34 for Middleton, as Ricketts jumps up to second quick. Let's take a look back here with one of the names that's making their return to stock car racing. Those of you NASCAR historians out there are going to recognize that name after making their stock car racing debut here back in the early 80s. L.W. Wright back on track, folks. Member of Music City Racing out of Nashville. Good to see L.W. back with us. Kiko Garcia making only his second start with the series. Third start, sorry. As there is the man who did get victory last week, Jalen Battle, as I need to update my trading paints. Oh, goody, trading paints decided to throw up.
Oh, it happens.
Sorry, folks, you're going to have to see behind the curtain real quick. I do apologize.
As expected here, the qualifying times are as close as ever. So it is quite interesting to see the small gains that certain drivers can get. It's I can never seem to find those last few hundredths, few thousandths even, on a track like this, as I just don't know where you get that.
Well, the biggest key, Jason, and it's something that it takes a while to get used to doing it. As soon as you clear that blue cone, get up towards the outside wall as quickly as possible to make this track as long as possible. And then ride the extreme high line through turns 3 and 4 and through the tri-oval. And then once you come out of the tri-oval and head towards the start-finish line, then you start to cut it down towards that yellow stripe, and don't get more than a tire width off of that yellow line. And trading paints, I hate you.
Well, it happens with external programs sometimes, but we're potentially going to see some more laps rolling in. So far, 35 drivers who have set a lap. That sets 8 without a lap as yet. Maybe a few of the rookies not knowing that they have to set a time. Not sure what the penalty for not setting a time is, but
the only one that hasn't been on track yet at all is Mike Hamill, who did go quick time in the practice session. He's the only one that hasn't even attempted to make a qualifying run yet. Okay, so let's try this again. Rehide card numbers. Fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed.
We can hope.
I do apologize. There are a lot of
Ooh.
latecomers into the session, and unfortunately, there we go. Brian Chu showing up in the right car finally. Steven Sear, of course not. Why would it? Just gonna have to go with it. Evan Clapper making his debut with the series. There he is in the 33 for Hendrick Motorsports, rocking the Bennett Chevy tonight. Skylar Carnes in the Woods Brothers, number 21, in a must-win situation here. Gonna start deep in this one, though, 30th quick. It's Jalen Battle. Again, it doesn't. We're gonna have to do this again once everybody's on the grid. So we will get this sorted out, folks.
Gotta keep trying, that's fine. But yeah, Skylar Khan's really not in the best of situations there. But if there's one guy that you would trust to be able to get through the pack over the course of a 100-lap race, it would be him. Jalen Battle currently just going through on his second flying lap.
Well, this is one of those tracks that it doesn't really matter where you start. If you know how to work the draft and you have people that are willing to work with you, you can make your way forward in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. I'd even be willing to say there's no real big advantage to actually sitting on that pole position. It's like, okay, you can sit in first, but if you're just going to be passed immediately by people who know how to work the draft, then it's all worth nothing.
Exactly, and the biggest thing here, if you can get numbers in that second lane under drafting conditions, that second lane can get a ton of momentum quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to have about half the field when we grid showing up in the proper paint schemes. 41 cars have laid times here in qualifying. As we are watching the 9 of Matty Moniak. And you can see right where he is, Jason, right down about a tire width off that mustard line.
I was going to say, it's looking pretty tidy to me. Untrained eye maybe could have been a little bit lower on just before the exit of 4, but we'll see how it is. We're on to the line. He improves by 100th.
Yeah, did improve. Did not improve his position, did improve in time.
Yeah, it looks like Evan Clapper in the 33 is going to be coming across as well. Also improves by 100th, but not improving his position. In fact, the third driver on this grid to do a 53.47.
Very nice. Brian Treadwell, second verse, same as the first. Actually, he's the first one to not improve on his second lap. Back in 37th starting spot. Going to take a couple more laps to see how this car is going to fare once you get a little bit of heat in the tires. It normally takes about a lap and a half under full throttle to get these restrictor plate cars up to full song, as that is going to do it for qualifying. Let's take a quick look at tonight's starting grid. As Jason Middleton sets quick time with a 54.344, 7 thousandths to the good over Jackson Carr. AJ Green and John Hopley going to make up row number 2. Matty Forns and Jalen Battle going to start it from row number 3. Row 4 is going to give us our first Swede in the field tonight, Mikkel Hagstrom, as Curtis Kelly is going to join him in row number 4. Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Brady Shue going to roll it off from row number 5. Row 6 sees Charles Robertson and L.W. Wright. And that's the wrong button. That's the right button. There we go. With Zach Phillips and Joey Main starting from row 7. Row 8 is going to see Clarence Prince and Justin Horton, with Chris Worrell and Evan Clapper starting in row number 9, with row 10 going to Jason Ricketts and Casey Tomlinson. Jason?
Yeah, Mike Hamlin and Steven Sear start on row number 11, with row number 12 going to Chris V. And Bob Wyckoff. Row number 13 is going to go to Tristan Rivers and Brian Chu, with Matty Moniak and Jesus Menendez rolling off on row number 14. Row number 15 and running out of top 30 is going to be Derek Cook and Colin Zima. Row 16, Kiko Garcia and Skylar Carnes starting in that 32nd position, with 33rd and 34th being Chris Delgado and Rhea Ferris. Row number 18?
Yes.
18. It's going to be Tommy Stanley and Mike Iskandar, with row 19 being Brian Treadwell and Eugene Thorne. Row number 20, rounding out the top 40, is James Bowles, who has some support in the chat, and Jeff Weimer. Last driver to set a time in 41st position, Ricky Hudgens, with Josh Grosso and Angel Hernandez yet to set a time. Tony, how about you say we grab Skylar to see if we can get a quick pre-race interview with him?
That sounds great, if you can grab him.
Let's see. Skylar, Jason and Tony in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I do.
So, starting in, 32nd, probably not exactly where you'd want to start, but I trust you to be able to move up in the positions.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I can never qualify at these tracks to save my life. Super Speedways, I never have it figured out. But as you all have seen before, plenty of times through, I can make my way through the field. Qualifying and hot lapping here doesn't mean a thing. Especially with the 100 laps here tonight, we got to keep the car clean, stay out of trouble. Might run in the back for a lot of this race, maybe half of the race. And then by the time it comes crunch time, you're going to see me try to work my way up there to be in the top 10, top 5, maybe even try to win this thing to move on to the next round.
Yeah, are there any specific ways you feel like are best to try and move through the traffic, maybe for some of our viewers who aren't such as skilled as you are?
Definitely going to need the help of my teammates here. So TBB and I might try to run up here. Rhea, Jalen Battle and I have actually made a little alliance here tonight, and we're going to be working our way up through the field and try to get up there. Since he's already through, he's a good buddy of mine. He's just going to race me clean and try to help me get up there, but once it comes time, all bets are off, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary to have friends around here, but Tony, do you have any questions before we let him loose?
Well, I think I hit the nail on the head when we were going through points earlier. If there's anybody that can pull off a win to get in the situation one more time, it's definitely going to be the driver of the 21. Best of luck to you, Skylar.
Thank you.
We'll get you back.
As Field starting to roll behind the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. That Chevy of Jason Middleton going to start it from the point. Geico restart zone is in effect tonight. Again, 100 laps, 65% fuel fill, so we're looking for pit window to be, I would dare say, right around 25 to 30. Maybe 31 if you really save fuel. 4 sets of tires total to get them through here, so the set they start the race on, they're delaying 3 extra in the pits. But Jason, this is going to be a fun one.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Yep, absolutely.
Crap.
As,
The most dreaded words you can hear your spotters say.
just letting the field lighten up that little bit more and make sure everyone's in formation. I wouldn't think maybe we would have needed that that second lap, but I don't know how it is at the back of the grid. Maybe
Well, let's take a look.
maybe we did.
Yeah, there's a couple guys getting EOLs. They want to make sure they get them down and out of the way. Chris V being one of them. Looks like Jason Ricketts going back there as well. And Jeff Weimer did not start. So again, Jason, 100 laps to get it done here tonight. And I think you hit the nail on the head earlier, and Skylar really touched on it. You need to figure out who you can work with. We heard Skylar say he's probably going to try to get hooked up with the 22 and or the 24, hopefully the 12. Is try to march their way towards the front of this piece, because anything short of a win and he's putting the race in everyone else's hands. The only way to guarantee yourself into the second round, win. Plain and simple, win.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way to guarantee it, that he would know immediately whether he's through or not. There are definitely a lot of scenarios where he gets through without winning. It's just there are also a lot of scenarios where he doesn't. So
right,
he's gonna have to.
Can he reach into that bag of tricks for the third time this season? He had to win to get into the playoffs. He had to win to get into the round of 12. Using the wall at Phoenix to do one of those. I kind of figured somebody was going to do it, but I didn't think they were going to do it through 1 and 2 at Phoenix.
I mean, it worked.
Oh yeah, it absolutely worked.
So, I as I said, from that day forward, I'm not questioning anything that man does. And that doesn't change. I mean, is there?
No, that sounds about right.
I think, unfortunately, he is starting pretty much last out of those in the playoff.
Yes, he is.
Is there anyone not here?
No, Chris V is starting behind him.
You sure?
Yeah.
Chris V is 23rd.
Chris V is
Skylar's
39th. Pull up your lap timing and scoring. Chris V is back in 39th right now, taking the EOL. But
okay.
As the field works its way off of turn number 4, we're in the hands of a rookie, Jason Middleton, in the 3 tonight. Gonna lead us to green. He brings him into the triangle. The things left to say, it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some boiled peanuts, because it's time to get it on. Roll Tide. Race fans, it's show time! Not the getaway that the 19 of John Hopley was hoping for. He's got a ton of room up to that 55 of Alex Carr. That's letting that inside lane just freight train right now. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. Nobody getting really overly aggressive yet. It's Curtis Kelly making some headway already.
Yeah, it was pretty much the perfect getaway. We got someone being shuffled up out on the outside lane, but it was pretty much the perfect getaway for Jason Middleton. Actually, Battle going back makes sense. He might be helping helping Skylar out, but pretty much perfect getaway for Jason Middleton. He brought AJ Green right with him. AJ brought Matt Fawns right with him, so wasn't able to jump the 3. That's exactly what he would have wanted.
Well, everybody, again, minding their P's and Q's. There's a lot of racing left here as, again, there's Middleton leading the way. AJ Green sits in second. Matty Ford, Mikkel Hagstrom, and Curtis Kelly round out your top 5. But here comes that second lane. Taylor Witch-Benjamin up on the top shelf right now, getting pushed by Jackson Carr. Jason Middleton currently doing Frankfort, Kentucky proud right now, as he has led the first 2 laps here.
outside lane is getting more and more formed here as we get further away from the start, as Taylor Benjamin leading that one. Are very capable drivers in both lanes.
That's an ugly pack of roll through about 10th on back, though. Shoot.
Yeah, I'm already actually seeing a nearly a bit of a split in the field.
Yeah, there kind of is. From about 18th on back. Throw a blanket over your top 18, and then from there on back, you've got about 3/4 of a second, as there is the 15 of Mike Hamlin. Representing Eagle Point, Oregon tonight. And then there's Ricky Hudgens, who's kind of the tail end of that caboose in front of him. And then you're almost 2 seconds back to this group, being led by Josh Grosso. He's got Tommy Stanley for help. And then you're another 2 further seconds back to this gaggle of cars. It's Colin Ziemer on the top side. Zach Phillips in the 38, trying to make some headway right now. Checking back into the middle of the pack, there's Clarence Prince in the 23, working the low side. In the slipstream, and Charles Robertson in front of him. But 3 cars on the top side, one of which being a win to get in participant with Chris Worrell. Now, he doesn't necessarily need to win to get in, but it certainly would help. If I can find the 11 again, there he is. They're going to need a couple more cars on that top side, and Chris is going to have to get just a tick closer to the 55 to really make it happen. But here comes the cavalry. 3 more JTR cars forming in right behind Worrell. Look for those guys to be at the front by the time everything is said and done here tonight.
Yep, that outside lane is going to be looking very good, as we saw a couple laps ago that they were able to get up there with just 2 cars because they were working so closely together. So it seems to be more about quality than quantity. If you're able to just stay as a complete unit, as these guys are doing, rather than maybe multiple cars a bit more stretched out, then
like they're
tends to work a bit
getting
better.
now.
Yeah.
But the other thing you got to keep in mind too, Jason, we're still very early in this week. We'll be working lap 7 of 100, which essentially means that you have to kind of tiptoe right now, because the last thing you want to do is overheat your engine this early. You got to keep an eye on that temperature gauge, because if your oil temperature or water temperature gets north of, I'd say about 220, you're in trouble. Here we go.
Yeah, that's something we really don't want, as the number 1 decides now's my time to lead the top lane, pulls out of that bottom and gets in front of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. AJ Green going through for the lead as well.
Trackhouse teaming up, as you'd expect.
Yeah. Does make sense. So now AJ is going to be one of the ones who's using more fuel, because that's something to think about as well in all this.
Well, Cavalry's going to be coming. Matty Fords has gotten to the front. Now he drops down in front of his Trackhouse teammate, opens the door for those 2 Fords on the top side. 2 Fords, 3 Toyotas in line. This is getting good. And top 3 cars, all Chevys. On the low side, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, guys work together pretty much all the time, so they know how to work together now as well.
And it's time for good news, bad news. Good news. Skylar Carnes has gained 5 spots. Currently sitting back in 25th right now. Bad news, he's the last car in line in this freight train at the front of the pack, as they now have an 8-second gap back to this group being led by Zach Phillips. That's back in 28th spot. I'm still looking to see if I can figure out where something went horribly wrong for these guys, but they are losing ground quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Skylar Carnes isn't actually that worried about being at the back of this train, because
No, not at all.
which means he's got the least amount of work to do at the moment. He's going to be able to make up those positions later. We're only on lap 10, so what, 10th of the way through the race? Oh well.
Look who's leading that
People
outside lane
bailing
this
out,
time.
that looks things.
The two Fords have gotten down towards the bottom as Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Jackson Carr lead this piece. Chris Worrell trying to make his way to the front, and they're 3 wide. Oh my goodness.
There's only one track where... maybe a few tracks where 3 wide doesn't immediately get me all tensed up.
I can think of
That's
2.
here.
Yeah, I can think of 2. And the other one's Le Mans.
Yeah, well...
You can go 3 wide down the Mulsanne pretty safely. I've done it.
Have you seen some of the prototypes that...
I've done it.
Then you have.
As now Brian Chu leads that top group. Chris Worrell right behind him. Those 2 JGR teammates trying to make it happen right now. Both of them solidly in the playoffs. They just need good finishes. They don't necessarily need to win, but they need good, strong finishes to pull this one off. As Mikkel Hagstrom, the 3rd car in line, not giving a ton of help to Worrell as he's trying to get some clean air to the radiator of the FedEx number 11. Unfortunately, had to go to the backup car tonight. And I say that only because Trading Paints hates me right now.
Number 1 of Matt Thorne's bailing to the back.
Yeah, as we got a little 4-car breakaway starting to form up here at the front. And a name we don't mention a whole heck of a lot, Charles Robertson out of Knightsville, South Carolina, sitting in the 4th car in line in that little breakaway at the front. 2 Fords and 2 Chevys hooking up early here. Sorry, 3 Fords and 1 Chevy hooking up early here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we may not talk about Charles Robertson all too much, but he always tends to have decent results, and it's just sort of around here. Maybe not lighting up timing sheets and winning every race, but he's one of those drivers that's consistently up towards the front, and that top 7 now has an 8/10th gap. The guys behind them are going to have to be careful here that this doesn't lead to something, because if they get more organised, this could potentially run away, though the gap is now coming down quite significantly.
It is. They've gotten a little bit more organized than they were. But another name we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot this season, Brady Shue out of Trinity, North Carolina, rocking the Fox Nation 77 here tonight for Spire Motorsports. Brand new to the league and showing he knows how to get it done, at least on a plate track.
Yeah, I mean, running up there in 6th is a pretty good start to yourself in any series, especially here. And there is now a gap that's formed, actually. Mike Iskandar in 12th, and then 1.5 seconds up to Christian Delgado in 11th.
There is Iskandar, up 24 spots already. Currently sits in 13th, and that Tootsie's number 99 on the low side. He's running side
See
by
if I
side
can
with
see what
Joey Baines
happened.
right now.
I'm just going to see if I can see what happened here.
I'm not seeing any damage on any of these cars yet.
No, I don't think there is. I think, So when that 7-ish car breakaway was being caught, Manis and I think Iskandar went to the top, so they came out of the draft of the guys that were catching the pack ahead. Now, whoever was behind them, I can't quite see the number.
What's the timestamp?
John Hopley, I think it was, did not have enough. I don't have a timestamp.
Okay.
But he did not have enough momentum to be able to carry the group forward and stay with the speed of the guys ahead. So obviously then that just breaks the two groups off.
Well, Hopsley was having problems when he was in line with his two JGR teammates. We saw him go up to the extreme high side and then kind of fall back. But, you know, Brian Chu and Chris Worrell still working together on the top side. There's Chu leading Worrell right now. The only two cars up there is, it looked like the 77 as Chu wanted to. Didn't have the clear, though. Or didn't have the safe clear, let's put it that way. As, yeah, throw a blanket over your top 11 right now. Christian Delgado being the caboose in this freight train at the front of this piece. Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my. What happened to John Hopley? Oh my.
The word turned comes to mind.
That is a bump draft gone horribly wrong. And no caution, no caution. There's the caution. Oh! Johnny, what are you doing? So the 55 is going to send Hopley there. Hopley trying to drive it, trying to get it back up to speed. Gets it loose and immediately just comes up on track. He's sideways. Oi! And just cannot get that car up to speed in the middle of a corner. Let's watch this again here as I want to see. So we're going to slow it down as soon as he starts to come back up on track. And see if we can catch who the cars are that got up into that outside wall trying to avoid Hopley. Here they come. Yep, the 38, the 26 bang the wall, the 27 bangs the wall. Well then. That's not good. As Christian Delgado came down pit road, but did not go into his pit box. Jason Middleton wins the battle off pit road, taking fuel only. Looks like 2 tires stopped for Jackson Carr, 2 tires stopped for Taylor Butcher Benjamin. Wright, Shoe, and Worrell all taking fuel only. Chu took 2. Robertson took 4. And most of the rest of the field took fuel only. A couple drivers electing to take 4. I would expect Delgado to come down pit road this time. As we're more than halfway through this current fuel load with a 65% fuel fill. Jason, who do we want to talk to? As expected, there he goes down pit road. Middleton takes the lead of the race back over as the lights go out on that Ford Mustang GT500 pace car. Jason, are you with me? Ah, crap. Why? Just why? Well, folks, I do apologize for what's going on right now. My computer's having all sorts of issues right now. I do apologize for all of this. As I believe I've got Jason back with me now. I'm sorry about that, Jason. Discord just disconnected on its very own. I was talking to myself with nobody there.
I noticed that you were quite quiet, and then I noticed that you weren't here.
It took me longer to realize it than it took you, as the lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT500 base car. Why don't you bring us back to green?
Yeah, sorry that we couldn't get to interview anyone, but next time. And yeah, Jason Middleton back up at the point. Interesting to see how many drivers have actually taken some form of tire.
A lot of 2-tire stops I saw.
I don't find it particularly necessary here at Talladega, but a decent chunk of this field is better than me, so there we go, as the pace car is now coming down pit road, and we take the longer than normal wait to the Geico restart zone. I saw Geico branding, but it wasn't the right one. That's the right one. And here goes Middleton. He has got a bit of a jump on Taylor Butcher Benjamin, though, so not quite sure if he's going to be too happy about that.
Well, he immediately jumps up, picks up Jackson Carr and LW right, and opens that bottom lane up for TBB. The pride of Baltimore, Maryland, working with the rookie Brady Shue, as Brian Shue now jumps down to the low shelf. And that's going to leave Charles Robertson to lead that top line, getting some help from AJ Green and Chris Worrell. And look who's up there already. Man, we spoke to early on, Skylar Carnes.
How's he done that? Nice bit of 3-wide action.
Why?
because they like to see you scared, apparently.
There's a reason why I don't go to horror movies.
Same for me. Most of the time, 3 wide on an oval is one.
True.
I mean, there are worse places to be 3 wide. Into turn 1 of any road course is one of them.
Yeah. Like the downhill off camber of Watkins Glen. Anytime at the Milwaukee Mile or the paperclip at Martinsville, those would be terrifying moments.
Yeah.
So throw a blanket over your top 16. I think that's, well, yeah, 16. There's a little bit of a gap forming between Jesus Mendez and Steven Sear. And then you got a little bit of a gap back to this gaggle of cars. Being led again by the semi-wounded Zach Phillips, as both he and Curtis Kelly got into the wall under that last caution. Oh,
Up at the front, we're pretty much as you were. AJ Green on that top lane with Chris Worrell and Skylar Carnes right behind. That's a triple punch knockout
I know, right?
lineup right there. Have actually managed to get up there and got down now, so Skylar Carnes is able to lead that top lane.
Michael Hagstrom now on the back bumper of Skylar Carnes. Brian Chu up there as well. We know Chu is no stranger to Super Speedway wins. And Carnes finally takes it to the last second, throws the block on AJ Green. New race leader, Skylar Carnes.
It only took him a quarter of the race.
Still sitting plus 31. That's impressive.
To be honest, I thought he might have stayed back for a bit longer, but...
Oh!
Flag is out.
And I had just clicked on him when that happened.
Careful, everyone behind.
Nope.
There's a few that got caught in that. What's the car number? If I knew my pen schemes, this would be easier.
2.
Yeah.
Oy.
Treadwell got a piece of that as well.
Yeah, Treadwell.
For it.
Just, I don't know what the heck happened. It looked like he was on the brakes, but they weren't effective enough. Let's back that up to the start of the lap. So there you see the 2 of Hagstrom trying to side draft in the middle of 1 and 2. Chu's going to get a little bit of a run coming off of 2. Skylar Carnes catches the apron, checks up that outside lane, and then Hagstrom tried to play both halves against the middle, and Chu was already there, and it was a pit maneuver gone wrong. And then here comes Daredevil as the 48 just blasts him again.
Yeah, and let me see here about grabbing someone for a mid-portion interview. Where is he? Where is he?
Who do we want to talk to?
Please be in the Discord, Mike. No. I can't find him. Oh, no, there he is. There he is. Right. Bringing into the booth, Mike Iskandar. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Going pretty good. Seemed like it's going pretty well for you as well. Before you came into the pits, it was what? Somewhere around the top 10, and a lot of places gained for you.
One second, guys. These are talking behind me. Can't hear you. What was that again?
Same here.
Well, before you came into the pits, it was quite a good run for you.
Everybody black flag. Come on, guys. You guys be quiet back there. I can't hear.
The fuck is 50? 20 car also flagged all brakes and a few people went behind.
Sorry about
I had to wait for
language, everyone. I think I caught something.
I was wondering.
Did you catch that?
Everybody's so slow.
I'm trying to hear you guys, but everyone's talking in the back chat now.
Okay.
They're all going off on me. Somebody, but no, I was doing fine, and then I just got caught up in that wreck, and I don't know. I think my tire was down or something, but I'm in the pit for about 3 minutes.
Didn't quite catch you getting involved in that wreck. So, well, from here, what's the strategy here? Just try and stay on the lead lap and see how it goes, I guess.
Well, I'm gonna try to stay on the lead lap as much as I can, but I'm probably gonna go down a lap right now. But
I did let him buy come out of 4.
I'm sure there'll be another caution. I'll get back on the lead lap, and I'll come back there and work with my teammates again.
He hit this race early as I go off Herrick Road before him or after him.
So long as your car's not blowing up, you'll be fine, I guess. Good luck for the
race. 3 minutes of repairs, so I should be okay.
Yeah, should be fine. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thanks, guys.
And you also got a bit of a insight into the
in-sim
chat that the drivers use.
Which is there's reasons why we normally don't broadcast that. I do apologize for any of the colorful language that was being used there, but Matty Fornes winning the battle off pit road. Took 2 and fuel and still... Oh, no, he stayed out. I'm sorry. He and Clarence Prince both stayed out that time. So the pit road, AJ Green winning the battle off that one, as he is going to restart in 3rd after taking fuel only.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Of course we're not.
Oh, okay.
Lights come back on the pace car. Apparently race control. And I just received word, Jeff Weimer, the reason why he didn't take the green, he's race control.
I see. Not entirely sure why we were delayed, but Hagstrom's got quite a lot of catching up to do, but I'm sure he'll get there.
And that was probably it, the fact that they didn't like exactly how, because you got Ziemer, Moniak, and Hagstrom all trying to catch the tail end of the field. They would not have caught them in time, really, for us to go back.
Yeah.
And gotten into the positions that they needed them to get into.
But everyone's going to have the chance to get into position now, and just have another lap under caution.
Currently working lap 28 of 100 here tonight. Round of 12, race number 2 for the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Jason Sofford, Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you for this one. He's Jason, I'm Tony, welcome. If you haven't done this already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let us know you're liking what you're seeing. It really does help take these... it helps share these videos around with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to be shown on someone's homepage when they log into their YouTube of, hey, you might like to see this. But we are cutting heads here tonight, As let me bring that graphic up real quick here. As the lights do go out on the pace car. Jalen Battle, the only one actually locked in. Everybody else racing for their playoff careers. Chris V in a must-win situation. The one of Colin Forrester not here tonight. Skylar Carnes in a must-win situation, currently going to be restarting in 4th. Derek Cook in the 17, also in a must-win situation, as is pretty much Chris Worrell, James Bowles. AJ Green just needs a good finish. Brian Chu just needs a good finish. Taylor Butcher Benjamin just needs a good finish. Curtis Kelly, again, say it with me, just needs a good finish. But, there's a lot left to race for here this season, Jason.
Yeah, plenty left to race for, and those drivers who do manage to get through into the last 8 will be able to look forward to Atlanta Motor Speedway, I believe. Let me just check that.
Yep, New Atlanta next week.
Yep, Atlanta next week. Yeah, that is new, isn't it? And then the final round of the season, and where we'll crown our champion of the iSNF Cup Series next gen division is going to be at Nashville.
Correct. However, next week we are going to be with the Xfinity Series for a 1 p.m. Eastern Time start. On December 18th, we'll actually have a double header for you that night with the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series at Nashville.
We will indeed. So make sure to be there for that one in a couple weeks' time. But for now, we're going to be getting back going underway here, coming on to lap 30 of 100. Matt Fawns with the button, eventually using it, and bringing AJ Green right with him.
Well, Fawns doing the right thing. He didn't just jump on that loud pedal in hope for the best. He tried to get AJ Green right on his back bumper. Green, though, backs off a little bit. The only problem is he's got no place to go with it. Here's some Clarence Prince on the top side, getting the daylight chucked out of him by Skylar Carnes. And Carnes going to immediately bail out, go to the top shelf. No help for Carnes. Oh, that's going to be disastrous.
Maybe he just thinks it's getting a bit too feisty for him. It is already looking so, as
well, here comes the cavalry.
3 stays back to help. 55 able to give some help as well. That 23 was getting awfully close.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to stay back there and watch that. Clarence Prince, no holes yet to get into.
Tyler's found one. 10th car in line.
They're trying. Oi!
I succeeded
There
at
it
being
is.
3 wide. There is L Crash.
And we watched that live.
There's another one because of it as well.
Rhea just died.
I think that's going to be quite a lot of this caution spent in the replay, looking at both of those incidents. There were
multiple.
Yeah.
So here you're going to see the 33 pinch down. The 23 holds its line, but the 33 was just coming down whether he wanted it to or not. And here comes the second melee as the 2 gets run. Oi! All right, so let's back this up. And we're going to see what happened to the boss lady. There she is, down on the apron, trying to stay out of everybody's way, doesn't want to be a part of it. And it pops off in front of her. She avoided the 20, did not avoid the 23. And you can see that the right front suspension on that Worth Mustang is now Bluetooth.
Yeah, that's unfortunately we haven't invented that technology yet, so that's not really how you want it. And well, winning the lottery twice by avoiding 2 cars is unfortunately unlikely.
Well, Delgado, you know, let's back that one up. We'll watch that one in slow motion because that was a wild one. So Delgado is going to see it pop off, and he's going to come out of the throttle. So it's popping off in front of him there. He comes off the throttle. Six checks up, 31 checks up, 50 just sends the 31 up into the 20, 99 nowhere to go after Iskandar just got that car repaired. Oh. Uh-oh.
What?
Okay, no, I got it.
We good?
Yeah. We're going to go on board. This is what Rhea saw. So it's popping off in front of her. She's off the throttle. Here comes the 20. She's trying to avoid the 20. And the 23 is just there. She cannot get low enough quick enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm yet to see it due to the stream delay, but I assume what Rhea saw was not much.
No. And this is on board with Christian Delgado.
Yeah.
He thought he avoided it and then just got turned. Did the right thing, locked the car down until everybody got by, and he's immediately taken it pit side. So while we are under caution this time, we are going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Steven Cherrick. I'm the rear tire changer on the number 24 GMS Chevrolet, and you're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back at Talladega as L.W. Wright going to bring us back to green flag action this time. One of 5 cars that stayed out. Sorry, 6 cars that stayed. No, I had it right the first time. 5 cars that stayed out under that current caution. Most of the guys taking fuel only. Brady Shue, one of the only ones to take 4 tires, as does Casey Tomlinson. Tommy Stanley, the next one to put it on the hauler, and Evan Clapper, Kristen Delgado, Rhea Ferris, Eugene Thorne, Clarence Prince, and Mike Iskandar all having to tow back to pit lane.
Hopefully no one else is going to have to tow back to pit lane, but that is something to find out once we get back underway with the green flag just in a few seconds time when that 16
Green.
hits it and goes.
And hits it a little too violently, a little too quickly. That is now going to give Justin Horton a clean shot at her. His LW Wright showing the way. Oh. There it goes. Well, apparently Tristan Rivers wants the lead.
Tristan Rivers wants the lead, and Tristan Rivers looks like he's going to get the lead. For first time this race, we're running 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. That's a lot of rows of 3. All I know is the inside lane appears to be doing quite well. The outside lane appears to be doing quite well. Where's the middle lane gone?
Hung out to dry is now, here we go. A little bit more help in that middle lane. As it's going to lead. Yikes. Easy there, Trigger. Brian Chu jumps down in front of right and hangs the 6 of James Bowles out to dry. Look who's leading right now, the man who started on the outside of row number 1. That's Jackson Carr out of Des Moines, Iowa. As both he and Jason Middleton drop down to the bottom side.
And then directly behind them, you got Tristan Rivers, who's up 22 positions. Although Will have slightly less fuel on board than some of the rest of the guys around him.
Correct.
Or am I? Yeah.
No, you're correct, because he did not come down pit side that time. Same thing goes for Brian Trudwell in the 48. You can see some front end damage on the Ally Camaro. This is the most racy we have seen the field here tonight so far.
Which I guess is a good thing, considering that hasn't been on lap 1. But we're still not even halfway there yet, so don't necessarily need to be as racy now, but if you want to be at the front and you can get there cleanly, there's no harm in you trying, as Curtis Kelly definitely wants to try and has Chris Worrell there to help him.
Worrell immediately drops down to the low shelf to throw the block on the 55 of Carr. Worrell now to the point. Pied Piper of Suffolk, Virginia shows the way as he and Kelly door to door coming through the tri-oval. Worrell going to have the short way around. Kelly about half a car back now. Give the lap to Worrell. All important bonus point for the 11.
Well, to be fair, I'm not sure Worrell was really thinking of just running away from his teammates there. I would have expected he could have wanted them right in front of him, but here goes Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton again, making their way past that Toyota. It was a lovely move from the Toyotas to get themselves up there, just not quite the execution at the end.
Well, Kelly went down and gave Worrell everything he could, gave him a bump draft down the back chute. So Worrell now jumps up to the second lane, trying to bring Brian Chu up to him. The only thing they got to be careful of with LW right up there is don't push the pusher, whatever you do. because there will be no air getting to either the front or the rear spoiler of that car that's trapped in the middle, and they're just along for the ride at that point at almost 200 miles an hour. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at what type of speeds we're going to see out of Worrell in the 11. Good grief, hang on. 197 before they got to climb on the binders as both Worrell and Chu drop down here.
Yeah, that's a bit more like what I was expecting the first time round from the Toyotas, as we may be going 3 wide here.
No, there's no maybe about it.
Lead.
There's no maybe about it. We are 3 wide. And the rookie's caught in the middle. Jason Middleton, the meat in that sandwich.
Not a sandwich you want to be in without any help, but luckily it made a V formation in front of him.
Oi! I just broke my wheelchair, Jason, hanging on to the handrails so tight I was white knuckled and broke the plastic armrest. As now Jackson Carr
blame you.
Jackson Carr being pushed by LW Wright, Jason Middleton up there as well. 3-car dance starting to happen at the front of this piece as they're starting to put a gap on Chris Worrell and company back here. Unfortunately, Worrell no help yet. 66 of Jesus Mendez back there, but running side by side with James Bowles, not doing anybody any good right now. And Worrell finally gets to the back bumper of Middleton. We see Mendez in the Speedco number 36 for Front Row Motorsports. Battle for the lead. Give it to Carr by half a car at the stripe. Worrell, though, with a good head of steam now. We know Bowles is not afraid to push at these restrictor plate tracks.
Oh no, he's going to I'm sure Worrell will appreciate it. Didn't look like he was appreciating it too much with how all over the place they may have been over there, but Bowles now dropping down to lead that front lane.
2 Virginians at the front of this piece right now. Worrell on the top side, Bowles on the low lane. Curtis Kelly helping the 11 right now as best he can. They come to the stripe. Bowles by half a car. Give it to Worrell at the stripe by a fender. Wow.
I mean, if it's anything like that at the end, then we've got our money's worth. Even though we didn't pay anything, we're being paid to be here.
Yeah, but we're not at a halfway mark yet.
No, but it probably is going to be like that at the end. That's a great thing about this track.
Yeah, that's the one complaint I've never had about Talladega is the finish.
More likely than not, you're going to be about 1,000 cars wide at the finish, and they're all going to be within 0.2 of each other.
Did I tell you what happened when the other league that I broadcast, one of the other leagues I broadcast that I get to see Chris Worrell and Brian Chu race in on a regular basis, came here with the Indy cars.
Go ahead, say.
4 wide at the line at 240 miles an hour.
Fair enough, more power to him, but nah.
And they were bump drafting in the latest incarnation of the Indy car that iRacing has given us.
Yeah.
To the
So something I've just noticed.
Yes.
We have 5 Toyotas still running in this race. There are 5 Toyotas in the top 5.
I just noticed that as well. Good catch, sir.
Thank you, Josh Grosso, for making that no longer true. But I caught it while it was still true.
Damn rookies.
But no, yeah, the IndyCar is not one that I like to bunch
Of
off, though I know it's
course.
possible. Hello.
And we watched that happen live. Well, let's back that up, shall we? This is the start of the lap that this happens on. So keep your eye on the 47 and the 19 on the high lane. And 19 leaves an opening, Grosso fills it, 19 goes to block, Grosso's already there, beating and banging behind him. Looks like Jalen Battle took evasive action there. Yes, he did. Got down on the apron, could not make it stick. So he was the one I saw spinning through the grass. What happened to John Hopley? Oh, that was Hopley. I'm sorry. I'm not used to John Hopley being 19. I apologize.
Nor am I. It's throwing me a little bit as well, but that wreck was definitely a bit less crazy than the last one.
And I had just clicked on those two guys when it happened.
Good timing.
Absolutely. Who do we want to talk to?
I don't know. But there's a lot of people who we could get in. Am I correct in saying that the 15 is a rookie? In the
15. I gotta find the 15. Hold on.
in the league?
Who is the 15? I don't even see him.
Mike Hamlin.
Yes.
Oh, I'll have a talk to him. I've spoken to him before.
All right. Let's reach out to the driver of the Summit Racing Parts Walmart Ford Mustang.
If I can find him.
Hopefully he's in here.
I am looking.
He's listed as for Rick Ware.
Change of plans, then.
Okay.
How's about James Bowles, our biggest mover so far?
Sure. We can certainly do that.
If I can find him.
Should be down in the either the Roush or the Penske chats. Yep, he's down at RFK. Let me grab him for you.
Got quicker eyes than I do. And joining us in the...
Yep.
Hello.
Yep. Hello. We screwed up your intro a little bit there, but...
My intro?
Hello, how you doing?
I had an intro?
Well, I was going to say, joining us in the booth now is driver number 6, but...
Yes.
You're here.
Yes, my new nickname, by the way, is the Charmer. How you guys doing today?
Oh, we're doing good. How's your race going so far? Looks to be going pretty well.
How's your blood pressure, more importantly?
I'm already having hands pass up Sony, if that tells you anything.
Understandable.
Let's just say, going to the front, in a playoff race, mind you, you have these non-playoff drivers racing aggressively with more than, let me check, 53 to go. I mean, come on. But anyways, I mean, the race has been, better than the last Talladega race where we had so many cautions. So I think the fact that we have no fast repairs or anything like that is a big, factor. And I'm honestly proud of the field that we have so far, keeping it clean for the most part.
So you're saying that's making everybody kind of second guess themselves under green flag action.
Yes, because once you realize you don't have that mulligan, if you wreck out, you're done. And it's a good thing that, I know we didn't have this for the rest of the season, but during the playoffs, it's actually bode pretty well, minus the Coke 600. But, I'm sitting P4. My plan was to initially sit in the back and relax, and, yeah. So now we're up at P4 with the Toyota Brigade.
You're in safe hands with Worrell and Chu, though.
Yeah, for the most part. I do want to give a shout out though to the guys up at the Poke Empire Discord watching me race. They don't have any idea what iRacing is or what NASCAR is, but I told them, hey, cheer me on. I'd like to have some fans. So if they're still watching, hi guys, thank you. But yeah, we're about to go green, so hopefully I can win this thing. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you very much. I will put you back.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So that was James Bowles, one of our biggest movers right now. And, Jason, you could hear it. We're not even at the halfway mark, and he's wiped.
Yeah. I mean, normally on ovals, my hands get pretty tired from turning left and then coming straight, and turning left, coming straight, and the force feedback is stronger. But I think my hands would be more tired from just holding onto the steering wheel tighter than normal.
It sounds about right. You kind of gotta do what they used to do back in the day before power steering. And it's kind of, you have your left hand at 9 o'clock, and you have your right hand at 11 o'clock, with your elbow on about 4 o'clock, and just use your whole forearm to wrestle that wheel over. That's the guys that have their force feedback turned up, or they have a wheel that they might have it turned down as much as they can get it turned down, especially some of these direct drive wheels that are definite wrist breakers out there on the market now. As Brady Shue drops the hammer, we are underway. Brian Shue glued to his back bumper. And the other JGR car of Chris Worrell runs the high side, as he has the aforementioned James Bowles right behind him. Bowles and Worrell have worked well together in the past.
Yeah, and we'll see if they work well together again here, and it looks pretty good to me so far, as they've got the 36 right behind them as well.
It's the furthest forward we've seen Jesus Mendez so far tonight. Currently sitting plus 24. 3 wide. Why? A top lane charge making it happen right now, as the caboose in that little freight train is the 48 of Brian Treadwell. Here comes LW Wright on the top side as well.
Someone tried to go down where there wasn't space. Heads-up driving kept us from wrecking, but
it's the Shue and Chu show down on the bottom side, though, as that top lane has not come out of that high groove since we went green.
yeah, try not to get the names of the 2 leading drivers at the bottom of the bottom lane mixed up. That would be quite difficult to say in quick successive order, actually.
I just did. Brady Shue, Brian Shue running the bottom lane, but the top lane is being very effective right now. It's everybody in line. Some drivers trying to get some clean air to the radiators just to cool those things back down just a tick. But right now, Worrell and Bowles starting to pull a gap on that low side. They got Jackson Carr, Jason Middleton up there as well. LW Wright, Tristan Rivers. Here comes Rivers on the low side.
To be honest, I'm surprised that staying all the way up there is working just as well as it is. Normally you see trying to run as low as possible, and if you're above someone, then, well, you're just going to be running middle of the track then, but staying up all the way up there seems to be working pretty well for that lane, though
not anymore.
They've all now decided to abandon that idea, just as I start saying that.
Well, it is something that we saw at Daytona back in February this year in the real World Cup race. The higher you can run, hang on to her. The higher you can run, the more free the car is going to feel. It doesn't bog as much going through the corners, but you need the numbers to do it. And right now they don't have the numbers. One getting a little out of form, as many horns. Gets it collected. Brian Chu had to step on the binders to stay off him. But three-car breakaway at the front of this piece right now, as that's Carr, Middleton, and Wright running stem to stern. They're too wide behind him, with Tristan Rivers leading the low side, Chris Worrell leading the top shelf.
.26 just about getting in line, otherwise we would have been the meat in a sandwich.
A sandwich he definitely didn't want to be in because nobody was going with him.
No.
Here comes that second lane back. They're running a little bit lower. Not quite as free as they were earlier, but they're trying to make it happen. And LW Wright, what are you doing? You don't push the pusher. You know, let's go on the nose of Wright and see what's going on there.
Did not look fun from down there?
It does not look fun at all. And I know I'm going to regret this, but yep, I was regretting it as soon as I saw it.
What did you do?
I went to the back bumper.
Ah. Well, you just get a face full of Chevrolet.
Yes.
Yep.
And here comes another face full of Chevrolet. Is this the 51 of Justin Horton behind Wright right now? We are riding on board with the 16, and this is... To call it sketchy would be an insult to sketchy things I've done in my life.
Ooh, we are catching a lap car.
Yes, we are.
That's something I always hate doing in these races, but...
Especially if you're already 3 wide when you get to them, like we were Friday night. That's scary.
Oh, yeah, but staying out of the way nicely. I couldn't quite tell who that was as we shot past, but...
I believe it was Eugene Thorne? Nope.
Delgado or Iskandar?
No, it wasn't Iskandar. It would have been Christian Delgado.
There you go.
Already a couple laps down, goes a couple more laps down there. But Worrell and Bowles have abandoned the top side. Leaves Brian Treadwell as the freight train in that fracas, and here comes the 55 to the top shelf.
I love seeing it when 3 cars all move out in unison. It's really something you can only see in organized racing. You're never gonna see that to that degree in if you were to just go onto a random
motorway?
random lobby if Talladega happens to be on the schedule.
Well, it all depends. Because I've worked with some guys who've all been in the same split of an NIS race. And granted, again, it wasn't a league race. It was just us going into a random NIS lobby, and all three of us ended up in the same split. We were working very well together. To the point that everybody was complaining about us in the instant chatter.
And you go, well, shame. Maybe you should have found 3 friends to race with. You know, it happens a lot more here, and it's just great to see the teamwork involved. I mean, especially here, because you need it.
Oh yeah, and you know, that's the beauty of being in a Discord server or a TeamSpeak server, is if you like somebody that you know is in the server and you want to work with them, you can move them into your room, and that way you can communicate with them as effectively as you want to. And if they want to abandon you later on, they can go back to where they were. As here comes James Bowles to the inside, hanging Worrell out to dry. Bowles trying to get some cool air to that radiator. Has the 14 of Robertson for help. But take a look at that number next to Bowles' name, plus 38, and is leading this piece.
Yeah, I mean, can't do much better than that. In fact, I don't think there's anyone that really can do better than that.
No.
In this field, apart from Ricky Hudgens.
Yes.
That would be it.
Checking back into the man we spoke with before we went to green, there is Skylar Carnes working with 2 of the cars he told us he was going to work with. The 22 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin and the 24 of Jalen Battle. Those 3 guys running stem to stern right now. The only problem is they're 4.5 seconds off that lead pack.
The one thing you don't really want to do here is lose the main pack. It shouldn't be too much of an issue now, as we've still got just under 40 to go. So they should be able to get back eventually via good driving, via caution, via pit stops, whatever it may be. But that is something that you sorely do not want to do within the last 15 laps of a race.
It's now Chris Worrell returning the favor to James Bowles, pushing him along, as the 52 Ricky Hudgens leading the top shelf right now. The pride of Harrisburg, Virginia, being pushed along by the 15 of Mike Hamlin. Oy. 38 of Zach Phillips almost got it all wrong.
Luckily, it didn't get it all wrong, so we are still going straight. That was aggressive.
Worrell able to save it though.
Not going to be happy about it. Say it that way.
No, but still plenty of racing left to do. But the fact that they're so unorganized right now as opposed to where they were. The good news is Worrell now has his teammate behind him in the form of Brian Chu. And we've already seen tonight a couple of times what those 2 can do once they get hooked up.
Yeah, it's just ideally he didn't want to do that while being forced out in the middle of a turn and dropping down to 10th.
Yeah, that's definitely no bueno. Easy there, killer.
Oh, we're 3 wide and approaching a lap car.
The same lap car that we were talking about earlier. That is Christian Delgado in the 31. That car is very wounded and very off pace. As a matter of fact, he's over 30 miles an hour off pace. That's dangerous.
If we're running a minimum speed rule, I don't think that'll be hitting it.
No, to give you folks an idea of what it would be like, imagine you're driving down the motorway near your hometown, and it's a highway, and you're doing 65 miles an hour, and right in front of you there's a guy doing 30. And you're in heavy traffic. Go with that thought, folks.
Yeah.
Definitely a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment. As we still have 31 cars on the lead lap, though. Throw a blanket over your top 17 right now. There's a 51 of Justin Horton. He is the caboose in this little freight train at the front of this piece. And then you're well, they've cut it down by about a quarter of a second in the past 5 or 6 laps. It was 4.5 seconds. Now it's down to 4.25 seconds from Justin Horton in 17th back to this man Skylar Carnes in 18th. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, relatively safe. Just needs a top 20 to be able to move on. Skylar Carnes, though, he's running out of time. So we are closing in on 30 to go.
That group's actually caught a little bit more.
They have, but the fact that everybody in that first group is getting single filed out, that's usually the tattletale that we're getting ready for some green flag pit stops, folks. As we are already 20 laps into this fuel run, we were predicting under green flag action about 25 to 30 is about all you're going to be able to get out of a tank. As Chris Worrell shows the way, Brian Chu, Charles Robertson, Mike Hamlin, Brian Treadwell, James Bowles, Zach Phillips, Brady Shue, Jackson. What? I missed it.
Someone lost it on the apron.
Mike Iskandar.
Whoopsie.
Let's go back.
Stayed off the racing surface, so nothing more than a whoopsie.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened. Now, Iskandar, after getting repairs, didn't realize, he almost made a Kevin LePage move. Thought better of it, though. Stays down there, trying to hustle it, trying to get up to as much speed as he can, and snap, see ya, bye. Finally getting that car repaired. Only a handful of retirements to speak of so far. Tommy Stanley in 42nd, Clarence Prince, Christian Delgado, all deciding to put it on the hauler early. Josh Grosso and Rhea Ferris still on pit road. Well, Grosso's still on pit road. Ferris back down pit road. Something happened to her. Uh-oh. She had to tow it. What happened to Ferris?
Boom?
Yep, hand grenaded the engine.
Yep. Boom.
Well, that's the problem when you hit a car as hard as she did in the front, or with the front of her car. Very easy to overlook a radiator leak. As a matter of fact, that used to be something I used to... Whenever we would unload the car from the track, I used to pull the radiator first and go over it with a fine-tooth comb, get all the little pieces of rubber out of it, and then pressure test it to make sure we didn't have any leaks. Whenever I was working on race cars, I always took care to make sure that the cooling system was as effective as it could be. So in case something ever did pop off, you know, I actually made one of the teams I worked with put a spare radiator on the crash cart just in case, and we needed it at Bristol one year.
Well, there you go. Came in handy then.
And I just looked at the crew chief, raised my arms, shrugged my shoulders, and grinned at him. He goes, yeah. It's the only reason we finished that race.
You wonder when we're going to be seeing these stops. I mean, they're... Oh, there you go.
Here we go.
You're welcome.
The whole front of
I
the
take
field.
all...
Now the question is anybody going to get popped for speeding on?
Oh, I'm sure someone will have done.
Oh, we're going to check back in with Jackson Carr and Jason Middleton as they elected to stay out, along with the 52 of Ricky Hudgens and LW Wright in the 16, as well as the 51 of Justin Horton, as here comes Ferris back out on track. It's got to be the quickest engine change I've ever seen.
Interesting. Kind of hand grenaded it then, because there are no fast repairs, but
right.
Drive starting to come off of pit road now. Left sides for Worrell. I would assume then the same for Robertson and Hamlin, probably Chew as well, and pretty much everyone actually. So I'll stop saying their names because I'm going to be here a while.
Correct. So we've got this 4-car tango at the front of this piece that have yet to come down pit road, as cars starting to merge back up. Ricky Hudgens, Matty Moniak just went down pit road, so they're going to relinquish 5th and 6th. Derek Cook from 7th just hit pit road. And I dare say that this group being led by your pole sitter, Jason Middleton, they're probably going to be coming down this time. Yes, they are. Oi! As was the lap car, Jason Ricketts, and I don't think they were expecting that, as here comes the battle off pit road. Charles Robertson, Mike Hamlin, Chris Worrell with a little bit of a gap back to Ricky Hudgens in the 52 as he's just coming out of pit road now. And the question is, can Worrell catch those cars in front of him?
I see a black flag for James Bowles. Jason Middleton missing his pit box.
Bowles caught speeding on.
That'll do it.
And there's your new race leader for Stuart Haas Racing in Mahindra, number 14. That is Jason Robertson. Or sorry, Charles Robertson is Jackson Carr in the 55, just coming out of pit road there. Now it's official. Charles Robertson has the lead of this piece as he's got the 15 of Hamlin and the 11 of Worrell glued to him right now. And Worrell not in a must-win situation, but definitely in a good points night necessary for him to move on to the round of 8. These guys are coming with a good head of steam on those lap cars in front of them. As that is the 17 of Cook, the 7 of Ricketts, and the 99 of Iskandar.
Actually help them gain a bit more momentum so long as they stay glued together as a 3.
Well, Worrell backed off wisely, not knowing where the cars they're passing were going to go. But back with them on the top side as all 3 of them are going to make it around. And now they've got a little bit of a cushion. They've got a little bit of breathing room as they've got a 2 1/4 second gap back to AJ Green, who sits in fourth.
Yeah, they've got a cushion, and by the looks of things, they're those lap cars are going to hang on, so they're going to have a bit of help as well, really.
Right.
So long as those lap cars don't get feisty with them, they'll be happy enough for them to be there.
Well, we know they're in safe hands with the 99 Iskandar. One of the safest drivers on track right now is that 99. Yes, he's a couple of laps down, but through no fault of his own is he multiple laps down. Checking back in with fourth, there is AJ Green leading the peloton right now, as he has Brian Chu, Brady Shue, Matt Forns, Jackson Carr, Zach Phillips, Ricky Hudgens, Tristan Rivers, Brian Treadwell, all with him. Chu glued to his back bumper right now. As a matter of fact, let's go on board with Chu. Good shot at the splitter right now from Chu. You can see that silver piece in the middle of the diffuser at the back of Green's car. That's the camera looking back at Chu. You can see the independent rear suspension on these cars. Beautiful shot. As now we're inside the fuel cell. Might want to fix the depth on that camera.
No, clearly that's
And here's from Green looking back at Chu.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh no.
pourquoi?
Colin Zimmer. What happened to the 62?
Oh, I probably won't have seen that.
Catches the apron,
Oh, no, I
washes
did.
up the track a little bit. Catches the apron again.
Seems to come together with the 12.
Let's go on board with Rhea and see what happened here. You can see just how sketchy the 62 is. She stays off him, goes up to the top side, and he just came up into her. And James Bowles just had a Code Brown moment.
Big time.
Let's go back and take a look at what James Bowles just saw. It wasn't as close as I thought it was. So, yeah, that was a thing. Who do we want to talk to this time, Jason?
That is a good question. As looks like Tommy Stanley's coming back into the race. Everyone now coming down pit road, as expected.
Yeah, just to top it off with fuel, maybe get that final set of tires. I mean, we're inside. You can make it from here territory.
Yes, we are. Chris has had a pretty interesting race, as in Worrell, so we can take a talk to him if we want.
Absolutely. Let's reach out to him.
I will move him in. Chris, Jason and Tony up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, you guys?
Oh, what's up with you? A decent race going so far, but you got to be about ready to start kicking puppies after that caution came out. You guys had carved out almost a 3-second gap.
Yeah, no, we were doing really well there. It's a shame the caution happened. I don't know what happened, but that really sucked. It's been a fun race so far. We got a green flag pit stop, so I'm content right now. I'm happy. Hopefully I don't get wrecked here at the end, and that'll be awesome.
Well, fingers crossed that that is the case, but
it won't be. I'm sure we'll get wrecked, but you gotta try, you know.
Well, if you want to show your cards early, if you had to choose, which lane would you prefer to be in coming to the checkers?
You're going out a little bit there. Say that one more time.
I said, which lane would you prefer to be at in going to the checkers?
High line for sure. If enough people are behind me, the high line. If we got people that'll stick to the high line, you can't beat it. But you know, you just need a good 5 or 6 cars to do that. You know, a good 3 or 4 cars can pass you on the inside if you don't have enough people. But I'm just watching the lane movements and just trying to pick the right one at the end. Hopefully, or whatever lane that's not wrecking is going to be the lane to pick here coming towards the end, 20 laps.
All right, best of luck to you, Chris.
Thanks, man.
The Pied Piper of Suffolk, Virginia, the man who pisses excellence, just ask him, he'll tell you. Chris, good luck. We'll send you back down to JGR, and best of luck to you.
Oh, I think I might have cut him off there. Oh, well.
Oh, good grief. We were having too much fun here tonight.
Oh, we're 1 to green.
Yes, we are.
Good.
Going to have a couple of waiver rounds going around. Checking in the live chat. Geraldine pulling for Clapper to pull one off. SPS, if we get a chance, we will talk to Jackson Carr.
Yeah.
Frederick Legion saying go Hagstrom. Unfortunately, Hagstrom not having the best night. Chillfish checking in saying go James Bowles, of course. And Tommy Stanley, after getting that car fixed, he's now back out on track.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, Hagstrom not here anymore.
Hang on, we're not going green.
There it is.
Let's know why that is.
To let the wave around cars catch back up, I think.
No, there was a crash.
Oh, yes, there was. We're going to cue that up. Bob Wyckoff having issues. I'm going to back this up just a little bit, see what happened to Wyckoff. There he is in 79 or 78. Well, that's ugly with a capital UG. Gets down into the dirty stuff on the apron, and yep, there it is.
A lot of drivers actually.
No, that was him.
A lot of drivers struggling to get it going again. Once they, if they hit the apron at any point.
Well, they're trying to join back too quickly. You need to let the car settle on the apron and then roll into the throttle, not just stab it.
Yeah.
Well then. As the lights go back out on the pace car, Should have everybody back in line. Unfortunately for the 4 of Angel Hernandez, he did catch a piece of that one. As Wyckoff was trying to get it pointed back in the right direction. So Robertson, Worrell, Green, Chu, Carr, Jones, Chu, Phillips, Kelly, Carnes, your top 10 as we get ready to turn them back loose. Now the good news for Skylar Carnes, one of the names he mentioned earlier that he wanted to work with is right behind him in the form of Jalen Battle, and we know Jalen is one of the best pushers in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't get too many better.
There's 3 guys that if I see them in my rearview mirror, I'm going, okay, I'm safe. Chris Worrell, Brian Chu, Jalen Battle. On a plate track. I know I'm safe in those 3 guys' hands. As long as I hold my line.
And that's when you start weaving all over the place like a madman.
Exactly. And turn myself.
Yeah. But hopefully no one decides to do that, as
fingers crossed.
We are going to get back to racing action very shortly, coming on to lap 84.
It'll be 17 to go at the green. Robertson has control of the field as the pace car makes that lazy left turn down below the mustard stripe. As we go into the tri-oval and into the Geico restart zone one more time for what we hope will be the final time tonight. Restart anyways.
Green.
Robertson has the button, rolls into it. 77 of Shu doesn't go, but green does go with Worrell. This could bode well for that second lane. Oh, here we go.
Robertson wisely going up to that second lane to stop Shu from having too good of a run on him.
Now Worrell drops down, leading bottom lane. AJ Green almost hung out to dry. Luckily, that was Matty Forts, his Trackhouse teammate, that let him back in. As we've got a third lane forming. That is LW Wright leading that third lane. With your pole sitter Jason Middleton and the 51 of Justin Horton up there with him is now.
Oh, don't like this.
No. Luckily, they got that sorted out in quick fashion.
Yeah, I think I wasn't the only one thinking what I said when I said it.
Curtis Kelly jumped on the binders, completely backing out of it there. The good news is, with him opening the door on the bottom lane, that has let Skylar Carnes from 21 move up to 8th on the low side. But that top side making it happen right now is Jackson Carr with a good head of steam. Charles Robertson leads the way as Worrell now jumps up back in front of the 91 of AJ Green to lead that second lane. We heard him say he wants to be in one of the upper 2 lanes coming to the finish for 15 to go. Throws up, oh, yeah!
Well, that's where he wants to be, and he's he decided to put himself there very firmly.
And Jackson Carr not a happy camper right now.
Yeah, I think Chris Worrell deciding to go down for maybe his own safety, nearly 4 wide there as AJ Green goes down to the low side temporarily, picks the middle lane back up then, but that high lane is really where everyone would want to be right now, as now they're all coming down.
Somebody was into the wall coming through that last corner. And if I had to venture a guess, I don't see who it was. Okay. Eddie.
Oh!
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Wrecking here. That's AJ Green that was firmly involved in that one, and quite a few other drivers, but saw AJ at the start of it.
Alright, so we're going to back that up to the start of the lap. See the 26 get yeeted down to the low side. Loses all his momentum. Here comes Green with a head of steam. Looking to clear the 51. They're 3 wide behind him. Here comes Worrell. The 3 and the 26 get into it. The 91 jumps up to get off the 26. 14's there, and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I gotta say the 91 just kept coming up while the 14 was there, so that'll do it. I don't think we're going to be seeing people come into the pits for fuel unless they're really tight for some reason.
Nobody should be, because the last time everybody was down, it was lap 80 or 82. But that was definitely ugly. That's the best way I can describe that.
Yes.
Charles Robertson involved, Justin Horton, AJ Green, Tommy Stanley, James Bowles catching a piece of it. So now the question is, who do we want to talk to? How about Jackson Carr?
I was going to say, is there a better time than any for Jackson Carr? He's in the lead.
That sounds like a great time to talk to him, if you can find him.
I can indeed. Jackson, it's Jason and Tony up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you. How you doing?
We're doing pretty good. We had a special request to talk to you, and what a great time to talk to you during pretty late caution in the lead. How are you feeling about this one?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. One run and I'll be in 30th. These next gens are very unpredictable. So, like, one run, like the 11 just turns on the afterburners and just speeds past us, and I fall back to like 30th, and I got to work my way up again. So, hopefully that doesn't happen. He's going to be behind me. So, really don't know what to do here. Do I go up in front of the second lane? Do I keep bottom lane? I'll kind of have to decide on the fly.
Yeah, I was going to ask you whether you had any strategies for the restart, but I guess drive quickly.
Flip a coin.
Yeah.
If you have a plan, it never goes to plan, so you kind of have to go with everything on the spot. Especially with these next gens, so unpredictable.
Well, wherever you do go, I hope it goes well for you. Tony, do you have any questions for our leader before we let him back at it?
No, just Justin, good luck, or Jackson, good luck. Hopefully we're talking to you in about 10 more laps.
Oh, I'll see you in victory lane.
Yeah, good luck.
Yep.
Did I just hear him call his shot?
See you in victory lane.
I did hear him call his shot. Well then, see if he can make good on that prediction.
Well, I know what's going to happen here. Either it's going to come true, or he's going to be in a wall. Those are now the two options.
Well, now here's the thing. I can't speak for the other two people, but I do know that if he elects to take the bottom lane and pick up Chris Worrell, he's in the safest hands he could be in. Worrell's already got a couple of race wins this season, and just got a win the other night, on a Friday night, in the iRacing East Super Speedway Series.
Yeah.
He's a smart enough guy to realize, especially with the point standings the way that they're sitting right this second, he doesn't need to win the race to move into the round of 8. And that's all that's really important right now. If the opportunity comes up, yes, Worrell is probably going to make a charge coming to the line. But he's also a smart enough driver to realize that if he works with Carr and just stays glued to him as long as he can and keeps feeding a little bit of clean air at a time to that radiator on the front of that Toyota, they can make it happen. And I said it before and I'll say it again. Worrell, Chu, and Jalen Battle are the 3 safest pushers in this league. So
yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens here, but we're going to restart with 10 to go. Carr has the button. LW Wright, Jason Middleton, your pole sitter, going to be restarting in 4th on the top side. Chris Worrell starting right behind Carr on the bottom shelf. And they've got Matt Forns, who, he's no slouch himself. Now the question is, Tristan Rivers has been about as stable as my ex over the last handful of laps. Can he keep that car pointed in the right direction? We're about to find out. As into the tri-oval and into the Geico restart zone they come. Jackson Carr has the trigger. Locks, cocks, and fires as the green flag comes out. Worrell's sticking right with him.
I mean, he said he didn't know what he was doing on the restart, but looks like he knew what he was doing there. Not sure moving up is going to be the correct call, though, because Chris Worrell's going to be able to get alongside him, whereas I would have wanted him directly behind. Maybe he's not going to be able to get alongside, actually. The help from behind's not quite there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the one of Horns not getting as organized as he needed to be. And that entire top line, look who's going to win the pony. That's going to hand the lead of the top shelf to Skylar Carnes. Oh! Worrell's around!
Hell, that was a bad one, because everything started blinking.
Alright, so this is the start of the lap. Keep your eye on when they get to turn 3, folks, because that's when all hell breaks loose. So LW Wright giving a good shove to the 55 of Carr. Worrell gets sent up the track, trying to side draft on that outside lane, ends up the lead in the sandwich. Here comes the 8. And the 41 just goes down into him.
Yeah, that was the 48 was not clear.
No. Carlo, bud. And then the dog pile into it. Gosh darn it. So that was after the 48 hit Worrell. Worrell goes up in the mains. 52, a victim of circumstance, gets caught up there. But watch what's coming. This hurts just to watch. AJ Green sneaks by. The 41 squeaks by. Iskandar catches a piece of the 41. 42, nowhere to go. Just blasts the right rear suspension on Worrell's car. And the 7 rips his right front suspension off, running over to the debris off of the back bumper off Worrell's 11. Wow. That was rough. Casey Tomlinson, Justin Horton both getting involved in that one. Looks like AJ Green, Ricky Hudgens, Jason Ricketts. And AJ Green had to jump to the pit. He had to tow that thing. And he just hand grenaded the engine. Well then.
Yeah, that put quite a few people out. Chris Worrells decided that's enough. Fair enough to him. Jason Ricketts, that's enough for him. And Casey Tomlinson, meatball. Ricky Hudgens, meatball. AJ Green, meatball. Derek Cook, meatball. John Hopley, DQ.
Darn.
So that swings the race win wide open.
Well, do you want the good news out of this?
Go for it.
If you're a James Bowles fan, he's now back on the lead lap.
Good to hear.
Bad news if you're not a James Bowles fan. James Bowles is back on the lead lap. So we should restart with about a 5-lap short track Saturday night style shootout here. So Carr, Wright, Middleton, Kelly, Robertson, Phillips, Forns, Carnes, Rivers, and Treadwell, your top 10.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it could be pretty much any of them, really. I think whatever happens is going to be a good win for whoever does get it in the end.
It's going to be a hard-fought victory regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Is everybody lining up via the choose cone? Which I've heard that's supposed to be coming right around the Season 2 2023 build. We're going to be getting the choose cone option like they have in the real world.
Very nice.
Yes.
When's rain, so we can...
The second Tuesday of next week, if I had my choice.
Have a realistic rain out?
Rain out? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Oh, no.
What?
LW Wright is in the middle of a throughput. That's not good. What's the ping on this? What's the ping on the 16?
66. It's actually not too bad. Quality is 103. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
How?
Really, the connection is so good that it can't handle it.
So you're saying that LW Wright is not only an enigma in the real world of NASCAR, but they're driving from the iRacing studios.
Yes.
I mean, I've been in rooms with Nim Cross, and it hasn't even been 100% quality.
Congratulations, you are inside the server. Here we go then.
Hack.pro.exe.
Yeah. Forget grip hack, you need a quality hack.
Yes. Jackson Carr has the button as the field works its way towards the Geico restart zone. We're going to restart with 6 laps left in this race.
Green, green, green.
Everybody rolls into it. The 3 of Middleton pushing on Carr right now. Gives him a good shove. And here we go. The patience they were showing early going, all the patients have died. Time for a practice suit.
Yeah, who's Patience? As
Never met her.
we're moving forward, already 3 lanes formed, but that hard outside lane doesn't look to be doing too much, to be honest. Already trying to form back in, as the outside lane up at the front, trying to look to get a bit more organised here. They're going to need something. They're getting something here.
As Matty Forms and Charles Robertson making it happen from the second shelf. They've got LW right up there with them. Forms sits in second. Robertson to the point.
Yeah, Robertson gave the big push and was able to get himself up to the front, but Fawn's now officially our leader on that outside lane.
Well, the one thing we've seen all night is LW Wright not
Is that a
afraid
wreck?
to push.
Yellow flag is out.
Yes, it
Yes.
is. It's like Zach
And
Phillips,
apologies
Bob
for the,
Wyckoff.
The calmest is that a wreck ever, but I only saw it
Yeah, briefly.
just briefly in the
So
corner of my eye.
3 wide, 39 goes down into Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and boom goes the 9. My jeepers!
Is this a you're not clear again?
Yes, Evan Clapper just caught more airtime than a skateboard in the X Games.
Oh,
Watch this. Boom! Well, yeah, we're going to back that one up. Keep your eye on the 38 up through the middle. The 22 is clearly below him. 51 given room. 39 goes down. And blackjack, everybody lose.
yeah. I mean, the 22 was already running on the yellow line.
Correct. And for those of you who don't believe me, let's watch that again. There's Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the double deuce. He was glued to the yellow line. The 38 just came down and got him. Which is not going to bode well for TBB to be able to move into the round of 8. He needed a solid finish tonight. Not going to get it now, as he's already back in 24th, with the possibility to be able to still lose ground to Derek Cook and Casey Tomlinson.
Well, he's currently respecting a meatball flag, so
right.
I don't think he's going to be out there
at
too
all
quickly.
Yeah, no.
If at all. And well,
we're going into overtime.
Yeah, we're going into overtime, and that means some more people have been DQ'd by that as well. I don't know whether Mike Iskandar was already over the limit.
Yes.
I think, yeah. But Kiko Garcia and Evan Clapper both unfortunately getting over that 17x limit.
Well, Clapper got involved in that last one. He got sent into the wall at about 165 miles an hour, and that car was higher than the concrete as it was spinning through the air.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't get DQ'd, then he would have to come in for a pit stop to fix his spine as he landed.
Yeah, that's a trip to the infield care center regardless. Being as this is one of his first starts with the series, if he's still in the Discord, would you say we reach out to Evan Clapper?
See if I can find him. I can. Hello, Evan, Jason, and Tony up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, unfortunate end for you there as that wreck brought a DQ to you, but apart from that, how do you think it went overall?
Well, I spent most of the race 15 laps down, but I guess I had fun while I was doing it. I was trying to push Jason there at the end, but someone cleared themselves on the bottom.
Yeah, well, I guess it's always nicer to be up at the front, but if you're having fun while doing it, I know full well that it can still be fun from the back. So at least you got that going, and can see that you are pretty new to the iSNF Cup series. You planning on coming back?
Probably. It's a good time. I don't like race leagues that start too late, but this one starts at a nice time, so probably I'll be back next week.
Lovely. It'll be good to see, and hopefully you'll have a better race next week. Tony, any questions before we let him go?
No, Evan, just welcome to the iSNF. Hopefully we're seeing you next week at Hotlanta.
Thanks for cheering for the 16 down here. Go 16.
Cool. You heard it here first. Go 16, and hopefully have a better time of it next week, but glad you had fun either way, and see you around.
Thanks. See ya.
As the lights go out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing, always has been, always will be. I make that statement and stick by it. So Forens, Robertson at the front. Forens has the advantage because LW Wright has been a very aggressive pusher here tonight. If Forens stays on that low lane, it's going to be tough to get by.
Yeah, I think the main... We've seen that the extreme top lane can work if you've got enough drivers in it. It's just at this point in time, I don't know whether you're going to get enough drivers in it that are going to be willing to just stay there. So...
Well,
it may not work, but we'll find out very shortly.
If you take a look at that high side, you're going to see a couple of faces that need to get to the front. There's Skylar Carnes in the 21, who's going to restart in 10.
Green, green, green.
And there's Steven Sear right behind him, as LW Wright didn't go. Fords and Robertson side by side at the front of this piece. Hang on to her.
Ooh. 45 was glad that gap was still there to come back into.
Robertson being pushed by the man we spoke to just a handful of laps ago, Jackson Carr. Carr goes to the top and hangs 14 out to dry. Here comes the 3 of Middleton, pushing Carr towards the front. 2 laps to go. They just have to get to the start-finish line and all hell can break loose. I don't care at that point. As they come through the tri-oval for what we hope is the penultimate time.
We're
White flag in the air.
wide.
We are racing back to checkers.
We're still 4 wide. Wreck going on behind the 6 and the someone else. Someone's massively in the air. We're going to have a look at that at the end, but the 55, the 3, and the 45 have a great run. Head of steam from the 21 behind. If he can get any help from Jalen Battle behind him, then that'll work well. Just don't know whether he's going to be able to get there in time. Because these 3 have a good gap. No, I don't think he's going to be close enough. Are any of these guys going to be able to make a move, or is Jackson Carr just going to be pushed to the win here?
It looks like Carr is going to be pushed to his first iSNF Cup Series win. Coming through the tri-oval.
The 3 and the 45 might be wrecking each other. Not quite. Is the 21 going to get there to gain any more positions? He isn't. And did the 55 find a handbrake or something after the after the checker?
Well, he tried to do it with some flair, and it went horribly wrong. Let's go back and take a look at what did happen on the final lap here. So there's Robertson on the bottom side in a 4-wide situation. 48 turns the 6, 14 does somersaults and pirouettes. Oi! Rhea Ferris trying to cold trickle it. The 6 got the Dairy Queen award. And here's what happened with Casey Tomlinson, is he's trying to avoid it. Tries to, oh, nope, you missed. Oi. And here is the replay coming to the stripe. I'm sorry, that was the exit of 4.
I also think that's possibly the first time that that someone's actually won after calling it.
In this
And
league,
hasn't
yeah.
just cursed himself.
Yeah.
So that's impressive.
As we go back live, his car is still doing celebrations on the backstretch. Jason, what do you think? What do you say we reach out to him and get his thoughts on what the hell just happened?
Well, I think it's a great time to bring him back into the booth. Hello again, race winner Jackson Carr. Well, you called it.
Yeah, I've done that about 10 times, and that's the first time it's worked, so I'm happy it paid off.
Well,
I'll be back in the booth. Never looks out of
That's probably the first time in history that calling it's actually worked, but you made it happen here, and well, after the wreck behind you at the end, it seemed to be fairly set.
Yeah, I knew if we were single file up and there was going to be no shot, anyone would be able to get past us, but luckily it stayed too wide way behind us, but it was pretty single file up front. They waited a little bit too long to make that run, and we capitalized on it.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a great win as well. Started in second, ended in first, and then your fellow front row sitter at the start of the race finished it in second.
that's the first time that's happened.
Pretty, yeah. I was going to say that's
both front rows finished 1-2.
Yeah, usually the front, usually I start at the back, but having that pit stall at the front, like those front 4 pit boxes are so helpful. So they made us qualify, and we just kind of stayed up front, went back when we needed to save fuel. But for the most part, it was very clean. What was it, 5 or 6 cautions? That's very good for a Dega Next Gens. That's one of the best I've ever been a part of. That wasn't like a full 500 where everybody's taking it really, really, really gentle. So it was very, very good race.
And Tony, you have anything else for our race winner?
Well, Jackson, I believe this is only your 3rd or 4th start with the Cup Series, and already got a win under your belt. Safe to assume that we are definitely going to be seeing you next season?
Depends how the draft goes. I'm looking to kind of stay part-time. I like doing my own races. I don't really like Dover was today or last week. I'm not doing Dover. Like Darlington, I'm not doing some of those ones, but I mean, I'm open for a draft. I don't really care which team I'm on. I mean, I'm on a JJ Yellen car right now, so Draft me to any team. I'll race. Same with Jason. He'll race on any team.
Well, you heard it here for team owners. You know, you got two guys that are chomping at the bit. But Jackson, again, Des Moines, Iowa, made proud here tonight. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
I'd like to thank everybody at Burnt Rubber Racing with all they help, all of their merch, everything that they do. Aladom Contreras Paints for making most of my paints, not this one, but most of my paints. And Jason and Lilith and Christian for all the help they did today.
All right.
Yeah, well, congratulations, and we'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you very much.
So that was our race winner, Jackson Carr, and I believe, do we have him? I don't see Jason Middleton.
Are we able to move him in?
Do we have Jason Middleton?
Hang on. We do indeed.
Hello.
Hello.
Jason started on the pole. Started on the pole, coming home, second place, pushing your friend Jackson Carr to the race win. I don't think Frankfort, Kentucky could be prouder right now.
Yeah, it was a pretty eventful race. I was really trying to be careful with all those wrecks there, so I'm glad that I could bring it home in second, push Jackson to the win.
Very impressive debut here with the league. What drew you to the iSNF?
Jackson wanted me to come run with him, and I mean it seems like a pretty good league, a lot of clean racers, so figured I'd hop in and give it a shot.
Very cool, very cool. Jason, do you have anything for Jason?
Well, what a good shot it was, and second place on your first time has got to be good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And looking at our mutual servers, I think I was right.
What?
We do share a we share a racing team. You didn't know this.
We do. Johansson. Oh,
we do.
We do. Okay.
So welcome in.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. Hope to see you back.
Yes, sir. Will do.
A bit more, and I don't know. Maybe I'll actually do some racing with you guys in future. But before we let you go celebrate, is there anything you'd like to thank?
I want to thank all my teammates: Jackson, Justin, Christian, Lilith. We all were kind of working together to do our thing in that race. And I want to thank Rhea for letting me in the league, on very, very short notice. So, yeah, I'm glad that I could get in and run my favorite racetrack today. That's all thanks to her. So, yeah, and thank you guys for broadcasting, doing what all you do. I mean, clearly do a great job. So, yeah, about it.
Congratulations. I'll
thank you.
Get you back down.
Yep.
And I believe, Jason, you've also got the man who finished third with you now.
Yeah, I do indeed. I believe he started P8, finished P3. That's a pretty good result coming through here.
Yeah, I would like to have the win. Should have pulled out sooner on that last corner there, but happy to bring it home P3, get a podium after a while. Good practice for heading to Atlanta next week, which will be a little sketchier, but a lot of the same racing, just tighter. So, good night all around.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, with the way it played out, you were the only playoff driver in the top 3, so I guess it was just completely fine for you sitting back behind them, as P3 definitely solidifies the fact that you are now in the top 8. And
yeah,
you're fine to go through.
Yeah, exactly. Tonight was all about just bringing the car home, getting those couple points we needed, just showing up, getting the contingency shown and all that. But looking forward to Atlanta because enjoy this kind of racing, but gonna have to play it safe there. It's a hectic place.
Yeah, we'll be broadcasting the Xfinity side of things next week, I believe.
Correct.
So, unfortunately, not going to get the chance to see that, but
I'll see you there in the Xfinity race. I think we're closing out the top 8 round there.
Yep, very true. But hopefully you do well in that one. And before you let you go and celebrate, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Just shout out to the teammates. Too bad Chris couldn't finish that one out. He was running up front fast the whole day. I'd say he was the best pusher out there. Guard just felt glued when he was with you, but it's a good race for everybody. Just shout out to the league and you guys for broadcasting.
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on your third.
Have a good one.
And Jason, that
Cool.
puts another one in the books for us tonight. Jackson Carr, Jason Middleton, Curtis Kelly, we already heard from those three. Skylar Carnes, I believe a fourth place moves him into the round of 8. Jalen Battle comes home in 5th. Brian Treadwell, Brian Chu, Matt Forns, Mike Hamlin, and Jesus Mendez rounding out your top 10. Chris Van Mistrick, Matty Moniak, Joey Maines, and LW Wright rounding out your lead lap cars in 14th. 15th going to Tristan Rivers, Charles Robertson, James Bowles, Steven Sear. Top 18, Bob Wyckoff and Brady Shue rounding out your top 20, Jason.
Yeah, and then we've got Justin Horton and Derek Cook 21st and 22nd, with Casey Tomlinson, Zach Phillips, and Taylor Benjamin rounding out the top 25. Kiko Garcia in 26th, with Eugene Thorne 27th. Chris Worrell ending up in 28th, with Ricky Hudgens 29th, and AJ Green rounding out the top 30. 31st goes to Jason Ricketts, with Colin Zima getting 32nd place. Rhea Ferris sits in 33rd, with Mike Iskandar and John Hopley behind. 34th and 35th, Evan Clapper ending up 36th, with Angel Hernandez in 37th. Josh Grosso in 38th, with Mikael Hagstrom in 39th. Christian Delgado rounding out the top 40, with Tommy Stanley 41st, Clarence Prince 42nd, and
Jeff Weimer
big thank
up in
you
race
to
control.
Jeff Weimer in race control. Exactly.
Absolutely. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and
hang
turn
on.
the bell. Oh, no. Go ahead.
Hold up. We have results.
Yay.
Lee is very quick on the results already.
I'm just trying to refresh the page now. Yes. I'll let you read it off, sir.
Curtis Kelly, naturally, has made it through.
Yes.
Jalen Battle, we already knew he was through.
Right.
He's good. Brian Chu is through.
Congratulations.
Skylar Carnes is the next one through. He jumped up 6 spots in this race to make it on through.
Nicely done, sir.
With James Bowles coming out in 5th. Taylor Butcher Benjamin is the next driver to go through, with Steven Sear in 7th, and it was very tight, very, very tight on the cutoff, with the driver going through having 3,050 points. Then you go 4 points behind him.
That's 2 spots,
and back
folks.
1.
That's all it is.
Back 1 again. So Chris Worrell, unfortunately, coming in 11th, 3,044 points. 1 point in front of him was Derek Cook. 1 point in front of that was Chris V, but the driver getting through on 3,050 points, AJ Green, just through. It would have taken so little for things to have changed in this race to change that by a lot, but
that's impressive.
AJ Green is your last driver to go through, and Colin Forrester wasn't here, so obviously you couldn't get points. So,
yeah, I mean, you kind of got a feel for Colin at this point. You know,
yeah.
The 2 drivers with the most wins on the season, Chris Worrell and Colin Forrester, both with 4 wins. Neither one of them make it into the Elite 8. Unfortunately
not, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles in racing, especially when you've got a playoff system. But hey, that's just going to make the next few races more exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. But be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single mode of action here on Sim Racing Media. We've got a triple header for you folks tomorrow night. The CleanRacing.net Truck Series makes its return to the series tomorrow night. The SCL International Cup Series fires off tomorrow night. Both of those at 8:20 Eastern Time. And the Elite Entertainment ARCA Series, round number 9 at Richmond at 8:40 Eastern Time. And, yes, we're getting closer to the holidays. A lot of these series are going into a hiatus for the holiday season, but we still have a ton of racing. We have racing 7 nights a week. Can you believe it, Jason?
I mean, that's a lot of racing, especially in December.
It absolutely is. But that is going to do it for us tonight from Talladega. To all of our menorah lighting friends, happy Hanukkah. As you know, we bring this one to a close. Holidays are upon us. Happy holidays. Happy birthday.
He got turned.
Sorry.
I'll watch after he gathers it up.
Hold it. Why am I here?
Yeah, this put me in the wall.
Why
This
am
was
I
scary.
here? Oi, what the hell? Well, somebody decided to drag us down there, and I don't know why.
Well, either way, a good opportunity to finish off the stream before we get dragged down again.
Absolutely. He's Jason Salford. I'm Tony Trapasser. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again as you walk down the road of life this week, whatever you do, don't play in traffic. We'll see you next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the iSNF Xfinity Series. Good night, everybody.
Good night.